Good morning, students. Today we will discuss ahead chapter 3 Iswaran the Storyteller. I told you that Iswaran is a good storyteller and its writer is R.K. Lakshman. I told you there are two important characters, Mahindra, his cook Ishwaran. Now we will discuss ahead. At this point, Ishwaran would leave the story unfinished. He was telling the story of a tusker of an elephant, and now how did he control him? It has been described, and now would leave the story unfinished and get up mumbling, whispering. He did not say anything more. I will be back after lighting the gas and warming up the dinner. Mahindra, who had been listening with rapt attention, rapt meaning full attention. Now he was listening the story. In middle of the story, he got up and do his work. Mahindra, who had been listening with rapt attention, would be left hanging. When he returned, Iswaran would not pick up the thread of the story right away. He did not continue it. Mahindra would have to remind him that the conclusion was pending. After that, because Mahindra was very eager to know what happened next, so he also reminded him about the conclusion. Well, a veterinary doctor was summoned. Summoned means called to revive. Veterinary doctor, as you know, doctor of animals, to revive the animal. Ishwaran would shrug casually. 2 days later, it was led away by its Mahavat in the jungle. And he shrugs and said that it was led away by its Mahavat to the jungle. Well, how did you manage to do it, Ishwaran? How did you bring down the beast? How you are able to control that beast? It was something to do with a Japanese art. Underline. He said that he controlled the animal with Japanese art. I think, sir, karate or jujitsu it is called. I had read it somewhere. He said that he controlled the animals with a Japanese art, that is jujitsu or karate. I had read about it somewhere. It temporarily paralyzed the nervous system. You see, not a day passed without Iswaran recounting some story packed with adventure, horror and suspense. And another day, he was ready to tell a story of adventure, horror or suspense. Whether the story was credible can be believed or not, Mahindra enjoyed listening to it because of the impossible way in which it was told. Ishwaran seemed to more than make up for the absence of TV in Mahindra's living quarter. Although there was no TV, but Ishwaran the storyteller is not less than a TV. One morning when Mahindra was having breakfast, Ishwaran asked, "Can I make something special for dinner tonight, sir? After all, today it is an auspicious day. According to tradition, we prepare various delicacies to feed the spirit of our ancestors, forefathers. Now, one morning he asked Mahindra if he cook some special dinner today, because this is the day of to feed the spirits of the ancestors. That night, Mahindra enjoyed the more delicious dinner and complimented Ishwaran on his culinary cooking skills. He seemed very pleased, but unexpectedly launched into a most garish, too much showy account involving the supernatural. Now they were enjoying the delicious, tasty dinner, and Ishwar was praising his cooking skills, but unexpectedly he gave some supernatural description. You know, sir, this entire factory area we are occupying was once a burial ground, burial where the dead bodies are buried. He started. Mahindra was jugged out of the pleasant reverie dream he had drifted into after the satisfying meal. Suddenly he started that once this place was a burial ground. I knew on the first day itself when I was a human skull lying on the path. Even now, I come across a number of skulls and bones. Iswaran continued. Iswaran said that I knew very well that there were so many skulls and bones. So he knew that was a burial ground. He went on to narrate how he sometimes saw ghosts at night. I am not easily frightened by these things, sir. I am a brave fellow, he said. He did not afraid of the ghost or supernatural things, but one horrible ghost of a woman which appears off and on at midnight during the full moon. It is an ugly creature with matted hair and a shriveled face. But he said that he saw a woman ghost at midnight 12 o'clock. It is an ugly creature with matted hair, untidy hair, a shriveled face like a skeleton holding a fetus in its arm. Mahindra shivered. When Mahindra listened, he became tremble at the description and interrupted rather sharply, and he interfered. You are crazy, Iswaran. There are no such thing as ghost or spirit. It is all a figment of our imagination. Get your digestive system examined and maybe your head as well. You are talking nonsense. Now, because he does not believe in ghosts, so he said this is only your imagination, but he does not believe in ghosts. So you have to check your digestive system. He left the room and retired for the night, expecting Iswaran to sulk for a couple of days, but the next morning he was surprised to find the cook as cheerful and talkative as ever. But next day, when he woke up, he was as cheerful and talkative also. From that day on, Mahindra, for all his brave talk, went to bed with a certain unease. Every night he peered into the darkness outside through the window next to his bed, trying to make sure that there was no movement of dark shape in the vicinity. But he could only see a sea of darkness with the twinkling lights of the factory miles. Now he could see only the darkness from the window. He had always liked to admire the milk-white landscape on full moon night. When it was full moon night, he admires, praise it. But after hearing Iswaran's story of the female ghost, he avoided looking out the window. Although he didn't believe in ghosts, but because of that incident, he avoided to look out from the window, especially when the moon was full. One night, Mahindra was woken up from his sleep by a low moan close to the window. One night, when he was sleeping, he heard a sad noise, as someone is moaning close to the window. At first, he put it down to a cat prowling around for mice. First, he thought that it may be a cat who was prowling, looking for a prey. But the wailing, crying became louder and less feline, weak. He could not resist the temptation anymore. Lowering himself to the level of the window sill, he looked out at the white sheet of moonlight outside, and he saw through outside the window. There, not too far away, was a dark, cloudy form clutching, holding a bundle. Mahindra broke into a cold sweat and fell back on the pillow, uh, panting, breathing quickly and loudly with his mouth. And he became afraid when he saw towards outside the window. As he gradually recovered from the ghastly, deadly experience, he began to reason with himself and finally concluded that it must have been some sort of photo suggestion, some trick that his subconscious connected with feelings had played on him, and he thought that it may be that what was feeling in his mind that was influenced him. By the time he had got up in the morning, had a bath, and come out to have his breakfast, the horror of the previous night had faded from his memory. Now, the next morning, he got up, take bath, and ready for the office, and that memory was faded from his memory. Iswaran welcomed him at the door with his lunch packet and his bag. Just as Mahindra was stepping out, Iswaran grinned, smiled, and said, "Sir, remember the other day when I was telling you about the female ghost with a fetus in its arm? And I will tell you the story of a female ghost. You were so angry with me for imagining things because you did not believe in all these things. Well, you saw her yourself last night. I came running, hearing the sound of moaning that was coming from your room. I also listened that sound from your room." A chill went down Mahindra's spine. Chill feeling of fear. Spine, here it means body. Now, he did not wait for Ishwaran to complete his sentence. He hurried away to his office and handed in his paper, but he did not wait that he would complete his work, his sentence. Mahindra hurriedly left for the office, handed in his paper, and he also took all his papers, resolving to leave the haunted place the very next day. And he decided that he would leave this place. Now, in short, I am telling you that Mahindra did not believe such baseless stories and rebuked him. One night, Mahindra heard some moan near his window. He saw a cloudy form clutching a bundle. As it affected Mahindra very much, he could not sleep properly. Next morning, Iswaran greeted him and asked him about the last night's experience. Mahindra was determined to leave the haunted place the very next day. Now, students, I am telling you what is the message of the story. You should not believe in superstitious stories. Some people believe in it, some may not. Iswaran tells Mahindra about the presence of ghosts. Though Mahindra initially refuses to accept ghosts, he himself seems to experience the presence of ghosts. So, students, you are able to understand the story. Thank you, students.